Good evening, Speed Gaming 3, and welcome to week 3, or towards the end of week 3 at this point, of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. Tonight, we've got a match in the Invitational between OK Game and Shaktool's Digging Game. We've got for OK Game, Wired Wiki, while on Shaktool's Digging Game, we have Hataka. I'm Radical Sniper 99, gonna be working the comms solo right now, and for tracking, I've got Days Cloud helping out tonight. So we are in casual boots. So our runners get to start with a sword, they get to start with boots, and it's a 7-7 from there. So pretty straightforward. In terms of the current records, OK Game is currently 2-3 for 6 points, while Shaktool's Digging Game is looking to get on the board for this season. But as we are talking Invitational League, it is never that simple. These are always week in, week out, brutal matchups between teams, and we are off. So let us see what we've got, and we've got early bombs. Not that it's a huge deal. We can get bombs in a few places after escape, and technically we don't need them to get through escape. So, runners, nice to see it before you get to CAC. It really is appreciated, but not going to be a huge necessity to get through this part. But this is, the standard escape sequence. Go rescue Princess Zelda, get her to the sanctuary, and we will be off and running to a regular old open from there. So, generally speaking, you're looking for close to a 5 something. Under 510 is really quite good. You talk to a lot of runners, that's a high bar. But generally speaking, you're looking to be in that 510 to 520 range, especially. Now, I did see we got a bomb off of the green guard kill, or the little knife guard in the sewers. So we could get some extra bombs in escape for the rest of the seed. Does give us some options for if we're ever searching for them. Yeah, so this mode is definitely one of the more standard modes. If you've been watching some of the league stuff so far this season, we had 80 co-op to start for week 1, and we had Invrosia last week. Definitely a little bit more of the complicated modes. This week we're getting into something a little bit more that you're used to seeing in casual boots. We do get the lamp out of the boomerang chest of escape, so always an interesting early find in this kind of mode. You always kind of worry, am I going to have to come back for Agate Tower sometime? And that only makes it more of a worry for you. So Hataka going with a full-on 8 slash. Looks like Wired Wiki is going to do something similar. Or, sorry, with the pot as well. So I'm definitely on the side of the pot 4 slash. Gets the job done. And going to continue on. I will tell you, both of our runners tonight are going with vanilla music, so no MSUs to feature really. Just going to get to hear some good old classic Link to the Past music. At this point, Hataka a little bit ahead, having a little bit cleaner of an escape. But Wired Wiki is going to get that heart there, or at least one of those hearts. Shouldn't be too dangerous getting out of here, but you don't want to... This is one of those things you don't want to worry about having taken to death. And I don't think we got a map check. I'm personally a late map checker to begin with, so like, I get it. My personal philosophy on this one is start finding stuff. You know, do your Kakariko, do your South Shore, and see if that starts pulling you in a direction. At that point, maybe do a map check. But up to that point, I shouldn't be burdened with thinking about crystals or pendants. So. But it looks like we are now back evened up. Loving the synchronicity here. Knowing your dash lines in the escape can really help you save a ton of time. And you hope for decent-ish rat. Not terrible rat for either of them. Unfortunate little bonk for Wired Wiki, but they're both through and into the back here. 3 chests. I don't think we've seen a map yet, so... Speaking of, there it is. That does mean we have to or want to open the Sanctuary chest. We're getting the difference of routing here. I think typically going out the low side is better there than bonking the top, but it's minor at best. Yeah, in terms of the definition of casual boots, casual in itself means starting sword. Or it's a standard starting sword is what casual means, and then the boots just means starting boots. I did see a pendant Hera, and it looks like we have regular crystals at Eastern and Desert. Bonkrok's not giving us anything this time. We do have that mushroom, though. We'll see when our runners decide to turn that in, and if they even want to possibly go for a save scum of it this early. Fake powder can pay off. We've seen it happen, I believe, in the league so far, but, you know, it's a lot of time to invest. Resetting is slow. That Lumberjack Ledge just showing us some bombs, so hopefully we do not have to kill Aga, but that early lamp is still kind of scary. More little bits of love in the forest. And Hidaka's going to pick up that heart piece. Although you can't escape them forever, apparently, as we have another one down in the Thief drop down. But hopefully, you know, we're heading to Kakariko. We gotta find something. There's gonna be something here. Some kind of progression, something to send us somewhere. Hitaka getting up to that 50 rupee mark or up over that 50 rupee mark. I always love entering Kakariko at over 50 rupees. Means that when you get the 50 between Blind's Hut and the well, you will have enough for Bottle Vendor. I'm assuming we're going to find some money here, but you still like to see it before you even enter. Although, so far, Blind's Hut giving us a lot of hearts and the book. As we head into Kakariko, well, we do get that 20, so we will have enough money, or sorry, we did already have enough money, but even a little bit more is good. Some is good, more is better. And there's our Master Sword, so there is the ability to fight Aga. And big money, 300 rupees in the well, so starting to build up a little bit towards potential Zora checks, but just the, the money we want for the rest of the seed until, giving it all away for 1 rupee. So far, a book and a sword, and now Cane of Burna also in Kakariko. Invincibility is nice to have. Burna is one of the better options for this. Drains magic a little bit slower, but not gonna help us too much yet. And more health. Already up to 6 hearts. So we're feeling probably pretty comfy so far. Library, nothing as well. This really has not been the greatest Kakariko. I think our runners are happy to get that early sword, but you want a little more. And I missed, yeah, race game with just another, I think that was 100, but I didn't get to see the number out front. All I know is that it was triple-digit rupees. And Wired Wiki said no. We'll see if Ataka does the same. Yep. Oh, yeah, 100 rupees. Considered it, but not going to pick it up. Hopefully does have enough money. You know, if you're thinking about Zora, you can get the money to get there, but we'll see what they think. But we're going to get immediately a mini Moldorm cave play. We've seen a lot of this early routing make a difference in this mode as we find the flippers. And just some money in the rest of Mini Moldorm Cave. So I gotta believe, you know, knowing that you're still a bit short of Zora money, you're almost regretting skipping those 100. But yeah, we'll see how Hataka takes this early play, going to the dam. We've had a lot of runners head over to Agina this week, and definitely has made a difference in a lot of races. And if you've been watching today specifically, lots of Agina spicy action going on. But it looks like neither runner really going for Agina yet. Unfortunately, Wired Wiki, 50 rupees under the Zora requirement. Hataka's going to get the rest of the money to get there between Mini Moldorm and Ice Rod, though. Now, you did see Wired Wiki go and set up for this. This is the water walk. If you run along the edge there in Ice Rod Cave or any cave similar to that one, you can get into this water walk state. Now, since we have the flippers, though, as soon as you touch shallow water, you lose the water walk. So first up, we do have the hobo for blue mail. Okay. We're getting the hearts and we're getting the protection around us. Looks like Ataka's also going to go for the water walk setup. I will note, you don't have to be really precise about how close to the edge you are. As long as you're generally close in the neighborhood, you get the state set up. Okay, here we go. Zora Waterfall, we get 20 bucks and another piece of heart. This early play for money or for the dam could make a huge difference here for Hitaka, and I'm not sure what Wired Wiki's doing. I believe there's a rock here between this and Witch's Hut, so probably not going to be able to get, yeah, there is a rock there, so we're going around. Interesting. I'm surprised Wired Wiki did not scout Zora Ledge even without the money, to be honest, in this case. Definitely a bit of extra maneuvering, and You know, this could be just leaving yourself. Oh, okay. You got to turn in that mushroom early, folks. That's our moon pearl. I still have a worry here. Like, Hitaka's going to get both the ledge and Zora, and the fact that WiredWiki didn't scout the ledge, and it's just money. But like, there's your Zora money even. Like, that's huge. If anything's on Zora, I'm a little concerned how quickly WiredWiki gets back to this play. Okay, so just 20 bucks. We'll see if Hitaka still picks up the extra money. Does not pick up Zora Ledge. I'm going to be honest. I'm thinking this could turn into an Agaseed right now. You got one element to keep you away to, you know, for your Dark World kit. It looks like WiredWiki is going to head to desert area. I agree that, you know, the book could be signaling that. But, like, I'm looking at this, especially from Hitaka side, saying, do I want pod money? Like, am I going to be hitting Dark World and have to go into pod pretty quick? But we're getting Saha's Closet as well as Agina. Is Agina another an answer again today? Well, it's not Saha's Closet, and Agina has 300 bucks. Yeah, and WiredWiki not happy with that one. By the appearances, the seed just saying, "Here's money, go do Zora, you can," and unfortunately, was not the first choice. So we're gonna get the desert play, and I gotta assume Hitaka's gonna make a similar call here. Well, I think, like, with the fact that this is looking more and more like Aga, like, we can't even beat Desert in this situation. Like, I think your concern starts to be, like, I feel like WiredWiki's just gonna head into Zora area for 2 checks instead of going straight to Aga. Like, I'm worried about a double dip of that area and the time consumed. We got our big key, though, here on right side after getting our small key in the Igor room. And just a compass, so we still got a chance for both items if they're both on the torch and the big chest. How kind does the seed want to be? Torch gives us the map, so no, there is an item on Land Molus, and we cannot access it. We are still gloveless, so no back of desert, folks. And yeah, just 20 bucks, so desert is not the answer. Your choices, if you are in their shoes, you've got Eastern Palace for 2 or 3 items. And yeah, that's it. So not a lot of options for our runners right now. I have to imagine WiredWiki is going to head into Eastern at this point. Even with Aga being an option, I still don't like that. You're really limited in Dark World right now. If I saw a hook shot or a hammer, I'd be a little more open to the Aga play at this point. Like, Hookshot gives us all of West Dark World, and Hammer gives us South Dark World, but without either, we are very, very limited right now. And yeah, as chat's pointing out, you know, surprisingly, Hitaka not making a call to turn in that mushroom yet. I have to assume this is just, hoping that maybe I can go for a save scum or maybe a fake powder, but you kind of need to know if this is an answer, because if that was a glove and you could have beaten desert, you would hate to see it, especially after only getting one item. Yeah, and there's reason to say either play is good here. If either runner said after getting that Moon Pearl, I'm just gonna go Aga, like I wouldn't blame them. I will say this mode is very volatile. If you've been watching the races this week, generally speaking, if you got a close race, then it's kind of the exception. In many ways, casual boots is very much a mode where one person makes the call that is not wrong, just is, not to write one tonight. And it can lead to just this massive divergence. And you're seeing that now with the Eastern on Wired Wiki's side versus Hataka going straight to Aga. I think this will be an Aga seed, but if Wired Wiki can find an item for progression, it could make a huge difference. I'll be curious to see how Wired Wiki approaches this decision after finishing Eastern Palace checks. I feel like you know how much time you've invested already, and it's looking more and more like you're gonna have to just go to Aga, so I feel like you almost have to do Aga here. But Hataka working through our Aga Tower. Unfortunately, not a lot of action for Aga Tower. We have less than NMG level equipment here. No bow. And there's our bottle. Ooh, okay. That is not progression per se, but that does open up Sick Kid. Although the fact that Wired Wiki is starting at at Link's house, yep, we're getting straight into an Aga play as well on Wired Wiki's side. The only thing we don't know is whether or not bottle was anything. And yeah, you're seeing it here, folks. This is not ideal Aga Tower equipment tonight. Our runner's quite good, but this is below even what you would hope for. Luckily, we have a Master to make this at least somewhat bearable, but we don't even have a boomerang for this Ring of Pots. Like, this is cruel and unusual punishment to them. To kind of explain why, like, Wired Wiki is not going for that, at this point, you've invested the time into all these other things, and to go back for just Sick Kid is a long investment. It's really a slow play, and you don't want to have to do that. One of the things you really want to do is maximize what a lot of people would refer to as their checks per minute. And in terms of doing that, like, you can almost guarantee at this point you're probably not getting, like, even if Sick Kid has the hammer, you're not getting a chain enough to avoid Aga. Right, as Maniacal saying, like, what you're looking for is it needs to be a chain of items, and one item leading to that chain is very rare. There's a chance that, like, Wired Wiki gets onto the pyramid here, goes to pod, and finds nothing. Like, it's not unheard of, and it's not unreasonable, but you don't want to gamble. Like, going to pod is probably the better play here than going and hoping just for Sick Kid to help you. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either if this turns into a hookshot on Sick Kid. That or a hook shot on the pyramid or hook shot first chest of pod. Like, it is looking more and more like this is the runner's first rando of how do I get to West Dark World with flippers and hookshot. But we have not had a great Aga pattern, as it was enough time for Hitaka to almost be at Aga by the time Wired Wiki started Aga Tower, and Wired Wiki's just about to Aga. So really a long Aga fight. I see 5-6 at Skull and Ice. We got Pendant at Swamp and Green Pendant at Mire. On the ledge, we have just bombs. So yeah, the only real advantage here on Wired Wiki's side is that bottle. And, you know, my thought here is, I think either way, you do as much as you can in pod. The part of the question becomes, can Hitaka do the mimic clip? But if I'm Wired Wiki, I know I've got a bottle. I am not scared to use it in camera unlock right side if need be. Yeah, I mean, if this pod blocks out, you know bottle has something, and that's kind of crazy. But yeah, I have to believe this is a small key here on the left side. And it is a small key. Okay, so far, we're not bow locked. So we are seeing pod on Hitaka's side and gonna bomb the ledge. And there's the shovel. Oh my gosh, folks. The seed just says no. Trickle, trickle. Maybe we'll give you progression eventually. There's another small key. And Hitaka is not going to go for the mimics on the right side, so just going to continue here. And hopefully Wired Wiki's stream will... There we go, all caught up. Magically, Wired Wiki is into Palace of Darkness. And here we go, back a pod. Hey, and there's a hammer, so there is our progression. Hey, we found something that lets us go and do other things in this game. It's a great day, folks. Small key in the dark U. And there's our big key. An interesting little piece there. Hitaka finding a map in the Harmless Hellway tells us that there is a 5-key front for this pod. So instead, gonna go with the hammer up here. Nice setup. And there we go. Meanwhile, Wired Wiki does go for the camera unlock. Nicely pulled off. As I said, this should be 2 small keys on the bow lock side. And nothing else in pod. Looks like Hitaka's going to set up for the Death Warp, realizes, no, this is taking a little too long. I am going to save and quit. And unfortunately, Wired Wiki does have to set up their own death warp here, and it is equally painful. But we're going to get that shovel turned in immediately before going back into Dark World. And the shovel just giving us another piece of heart. So at this point for Hitaka, it looks like the play is going to have to be going back through our Dark World portal at Hyrule Castle, and probably go south to check Hype Cave, Stumpy, and the Dig Game. Wired Wiki getting their hammer as well. I mean, I think the worst thing here is, like, that bottle led to a bow, and you could have single-dipped pod. Like, Eastern's brutal either way. It would have been a double dip. But watch the bottle lead to a bow, and you could have had a single dip of pod. That'll never feel great. So here we go. Is Hype Cave actually hype today? Not a great start. The hook shot, that is actually very hype. That is amazing. It looks like we were going to need it, and we have it. So there you go. That's the only item any of us should care about, and it is a really good one. 2, no, that at least deserves a 6. At least a 6. Hookshot is super hype. Talk to runners, they love getting hook shots. Especially with a pendant swap. Hey, there's our second bottle off of Stumpy. And the other thing I will say about what makes Hookshot such a great item is not only is it for a logical side of things, it's also a great item for mechanics. You really can see a lot of technical skill from our runners just by how well they manage to use their Hookshot. The little optimizations, room to room, for top level runners is really important here. So, you know, hooking to trees, pots, hook speed, like all these little things that just make you that much faster are that important in this mode. So Hitaka and Wired Wiki heading both back into Dark World. Wired Wiki gonna head for the southern side of Dark World for Hype Cave and that hook shot, while Hitaka is gonna go for the north. Unfortunately, we can't go after the catfish at this point. We still do not have a glove, and that is one of the few requirements to get to catfish. Okay, I was about to say, are we going to get the scouting of Bumper Ledge? Yes, we are. Hitaka's going to give us a look at Bumper Ledge, see if we're going to care or come back for it. We're still 2 items short of this. We need a glove and a cape, and it's only 20 bucks. So Hitaka's going to check out Skull Woods here. A lot of people consider front of Skull Woods to be similar to Overworld, so I don't disagree with the checks. And really, like, we don't have a ton left. And Wired Wiki's actually going, I think, what was that Hype Cave directly back to the north? Gonna skip Stumpy and the dig game for now. And I have not seen anything out of Skull Woods yet for Hitaka. Was there a glove? My apologies, I missed the glove. So glove, that's kind of important. We will need, of course, both the gloves. And unfortunately, Wired Wiki heading right into Thieves Town here. Although, that's our other glove. Glove in Thieves Town, glove in Skull, that is Mitts. Trust me, I know Dazed is psychic. Clearly knew the glove was coming for Wired Wiki as well as Hitaka, so like it works out. And we have a vanilla big key in Thieves Town. Yeah, Fire Rod kind of gets rid of any issues for Wired Wiki there. Immediately is going to want to go to Skull Woods for another crystal. So no way to really miss that second glove. Compass in the attic as Hitaka now enters Thieves Town as well. And gets Mitts. I will say, runners are very appreciative of glove. You don't realize it, but gloveless Thieves Town, especially towards the end here as we head to the basement with Blind Cell, is not fun. And we are going to get to see the big chest now. And it's just the map, so Blind has our last item. And here we go with our first crystal boss fight. We are going to get Blind. Decently on script, especially for the first two phases. A little bit off for that third, but no surprise there. The third phase always kind of can get off the rail a little bit, because sometimes the game just doesn't register a hit. But with 2 progressive items out of Thieves Town in the glove, or 1 glove and a fire rod, I don't think our runners are going to be too unhappy about that. Wirewiki's going to clear out the rest of Vu here, and then probably head to Skull. Maniacal, I would agree. My first instinct would have been to make the same play as Sataka. With how trickle feed this seed has been so far, I would have probably dipped Skull hoping for something. And probably had to make the same double dip we're going to see from Hataka. And Wirewiki's actually going to try to conserve some magic here. Wants a little bit extra coming into the Moth fight. And Hataka's going to have to be a little careful here. Oh, okay. Whew. Down to 2 hearts, but gets through the fight. And realistically, like, for Hataka having the mitts now, I feel like you almost have to go after Moth either way, because, like, you technically have access to both your 5/6s, even if not logically. But Wired Wiki versus the Moth. Fight going very nicely. Good kill. Very nicely done. And there's the big key. We did get a hammer pegs check from Hataka. Nothing. And I thought maybe we go back to Skull, but no. Hataka's picking up the Smith. So, we're going to get at least probably a King's Tomb, Jeremiah turn-in, maybe Skull after that. Not a bad way to chain these checks. And yeah, unfortunately, for Wired Wiki, now on Red Mail, Death Warping out of Skullwoods is very slow and not appetizing. Even with such a, we're still only at 7 hearts for Wired Wiki, and even then, Red Mail makes that a chore. But Hataka finding just 300 rupees in King's Tomb, so nothing super, super important. Okay, I was about to say, Wired Wiki, that was a chest we didn't do yet. Does remember to go back in and is going to do this, maybe setting up for the Wallmaster to bring out to that door instead. I could see that play. Yep. Oh, and there's the ice rod off of the Smith. Jeremiah with an ice rod today. This is a gross seed so far. And the thing is, I could very easily see Wired Wiki getting done the skull play and deciding to just go straight for the mountain instead of even considering Jeremiah right now. Because honestly, look at how appetizing the mountain is. You've got a whole host of checks up there. Yeah, I don't see a mirrorless Smith play for at least a little bit. But I've been wrong many times, and apparently this time is not one of them. At least not yet. It is my lot in life as commentary to be wrong. Like I said, I'm probably wrong. Wired Wiki heading back. This could... Okay. Does this turn into Jeremiah? I think we're getting hammer pegs. I think we're getting dig. And I think we're getting... Oh, we're getting brewery. Oh, wow. So is this brewery, dig, Stumpy, and Jeremiah and hammer pegs? How much we doing? Okay, so we have to do dig game, of course, before Jeremiah. Unfortunately, you're unable to do dig game with a follower. That includes the purple chest. Even if the purple chest is not with you directly, it counts as a follower, so we definitely have to do this first. As we're also getting the moth fight from Hitaka. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. Wired Wiki, where are you going? This is over to Stumpy. There's our Stumpy. What happens next? Save and quit. Oh, man. Okay. So that is a huge orphan now for Wired Wiki in the Smith chain. Where to next? Is this going to be Ice Palace? Yeah, this is looking like ice, folks. It's a clearable 5/6 crystal, so understandable play. You know, maybe get Kana Samaria out of here, a medallion, a mirror, just something for the rest of the seed. Maybe something that can keep us off of Death Mountain a little bit longer. I like it. Unfortunately, like if you get the tools to go into TR, you might think that Ice Rod's hanging at its home away from home. And that's just not the case today. Starting off with a small key. And Hitaka having to do a little bit of the long road for Skull Woods. Unfortunately, this wasn't a great Skull Woods no matter how you route it. Wired Wiki, by merit of just having that big key first, by doing the back first, gets to save a little bit of time on Skull. Okay, Hitaka starting at Sanctuary. This might be the mountain. I don't see a different play at this point on Hitaka's side. Yep, this is Death Mountain. Clearly a Death Mountain play coming up. It's our densest play right now. I don't think there's a way you get out of this seed without doing it, but Wired Wiki going for the Ice Palace Bomb Jump and hits it. Very nicely done. Wired Wiki recognizing the keys that we've got so far, getting that small key out of Pengator means that clearly the choice is go right side first here. Yeah, unfortunately just a little too far to the right and activated that other Stalfos. Is Ice Palace going to be cane locked, folks? If we see the second small key, it is not cane locked. But at this point, we still just need that small key. There's another bottle. This time empty. And in Paradox, we get the Ether Medallion. There was our map, and Paradox really only the Ether Medallion. Heart container. Okay, we are down to, I think, is that all for Ice now? Jeez, Ice might not have been the play. No, we still have something in Ice Tea, or at least a reason to check Ice Tea. So this is going to either be our small key or our item. Meanwhile, the floating island up on Death Mountain is nothing again. Hitaka's going to head to Hera. There's our third item. So Ice Palace and Pyramid Ferry are cane locked. But we're going to get Ether Tablet here for Hitaka, and what is on our tablet? Just a piece of heart. But Hitaka's going to head to Independent Hera briefly. And huge payout there. The Cane of Samaria, folks, in the basement cage of Hera. Meanwhile, Wired Wiki going after Cold Stare here, does a nice job getting the shell down, and now going to use a combination of Master Sword spins and hammer hits. With that red mail, going to be at least a little safer, a little bit cozier, but still a dangerous fight. Cold Stare can still deal a ton of damage. There's one puff. There's two puffs down, one to go. Meanwhile, Hitaka is climbing Tower of Hera. Bit of a surprise here. It is a pendant, but we're going to go for it. By the way, folks, if you enjoy Hammer Cold Stare, just think we're only a couple of weeks away, or still a couple of weeks away from Swordless this season, one of the new modes. So you will get to see plenty of Hammer Cold Stares. But Wired Wiki is going to go after this Pyramid Fairy play. Knows, hey, I'm going to need Cane for it, but I still want to do this play. down goes Moldorm, and it is our second item. So, unfortunately, just a regular pendant. You could leave after getting Cane of Samaria, but, you know, not terrible. On the plus side, you now know that, like, you don't have to return to Hera. Now, for Hitaka, I think we're going to go down Spiral Cave. And I hate having to do this, but, like, in Hitaka's position, you go down Spiral and you reclimb Paradox, and you open up TR the vanilla way, hoping that you've got the medallion. Like, I think you have to do it that way, and it stinks. Pyramid Fairy gives us our 4th bottle and a heart container. Great. Thank you, game. Bottle percent achieved, and the Pyramid Fairy just says, here, have a bee. And yep, Hitaka reclimbing the mountain as Wired Wiki goes for King's Tomb. So probably going to be King's Tomb into the mountain next on Wired Wiki's side. No real advantage gained from that Ice Palace play. So can we open Turtle Rock? What is our medallion for this dungeon? We can full clear it if you're Hitaka, and it is Ether, so that is a fully clearable TR for Hitaka. This is going to be a massive benefit and a just huge advantage on Hitaka's side. Unfortunately, Wired Wiki is coming up to Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod, which we did find off of Jeremiah. Really heads up play for our routing from Hitaka there is going to make a huge difference. And there's our Tempered Sword, so now Trinex not even really a worry. And the bow, okay. Just a second, folks. I think we're in go mode. That crept up on us pretty slowly, but we're in go mode, everybody. That is definitely go mode. We have the equipment to beat Eastern Desert, Pod. We beat Skull Thieves. We have the equipment to beat Ice, and we have the equipment to beat TR. I think Hitaka's not yet realized it's go mode yet. But yeah, that was a sneaky quick go mode. Yeah, sorry, my brain wasn't thinking what that meant for a second there, because yeah, that is go. Does Hitaka recognize it? It's a return trip now for 3 dungeons. I think what really decides this is... I agree that this is not looking good for Wired Wiki. Hitaka's in a great position overall. I think the big question, like, if Wired Wiki goes into TR here without Ice Rod, that's how dramatic this difference is going to be. And there's our big key on the right side. Yeah, that was a sneaky go mode tonight. I'm not gonna lie. I apologize, chat, for not having the true energy of it all. But yeah, that is quite quick. After how slow the rest of that seed was. gonna say, I don't think you can push that block that way. It'd be neat if you could. But there's our small key in the chomps, and there is a Cane of Samaria for Wired Wiki. Is Wired Wiki gonna go and kill Mold Orm? How risky are our runners feeling? There's the big key. And Wired Wiki's gonna go up Hera, but is gonna go with the hook, the Hera pot. One of the things that Hitaka did not do was Hera pot, so Wired Wiki's gonna have a little bit quicker of a Hera. Yeah, this is the, you know, the fact that we had such a slow burn to Aga, and even after Aga was still just like a breadcrumb here or there, to now just be immediately like, yeah, go, hurry up. It's an unsettling feeling. Hitaka's going to take the safety door here out of firing squad. To get to the big chest. If you're curious, folks, that chest in a go mode situation, about 4% of the time it can have the a required small key. So generally you'll see a lot of runners skip it. But it can be a safer play sometimes to just grab that key, or hope for there's to be a key there. But instead, we do get a small key in Crystal Roller Room. So really, at this point, Hitaka's got everything and can skip all of Laser Bridge. And yeah, I don't see... Like, here's what's going to happen, realistically. Like, Wired Wiki gets a bow. Wired Wiki gets a Tempered Sword. Even if they don't go in to TR, I still don't know what brings you back to Smith Chain. Like, there's just no great impulse. But here we go, the Trinex fight over on Hitaka's side. Firehead is down, and now just taking down the Ice Head. Really good kill there. Well, and I think, you know, we're thinking about the discussion of whether or not Wired Wiki goes into TR. The problem is that they have one check in Pod, one check in Eastern, one check in Desert. Like, the 3 dungeons they can go beat right now are all single checks. None of them feel good. So, like, TR just might look like a better option. I don't know. So I could be wrong. Like, I'm hoping I'm wrong. But I wouldn't be shocked if Wired Wiki goes into TR hoping that it's the right play. And yep. Oh, didn't open up TR. My bad. Okay. Instead, we're going to get Spike Cave. But Hitaka's just going to be in Dungeon Assault mode now. Ice Palace first. Then we're going to get Eastern and Pod and Desert. So... And just a piece of heart. I mean, at this point, it is looking more and more likely that our Mirror and or Flute are both inside of Ganon's tower. Like, maybe one of them is on a boss, But realistically, it's looking more and more like they're just going to be in GT. So, Wired Wiki heading back to Eastern Palace just has an Armos kill here. And then probably goes to Pod just to kill Helmasaur. So gonna do some just some cleanup of dungeons. I just don't know if there's anything really, really helpful here. And yeah, as our tracker Days Cloud is pointing out, mirrorless GT is really gross. You don't see it too frequently, but finding the big key and then having to find your way back to the front of GT is a pain. It's not fun. Do not recommend. Yeah, depending on how far in that big key is, I'd almost say just route back. You know, continue the loop. Yeah, Hope or DM Room are the best right now. But Hitaka on to the Cold Stare fight with Tempered Sword. Gonna be a much nicer fight to have to go through. And Wired Wiki's gonna be into the Armos fight. And we get our first shield off of the Armos Knights. That is another crystal for both of our runners. 4 crystals for Hitaka and 4 crystals for Wired Wiki. And yeah, those Fire Rod dupes really do help save some time as well. And Hitaka heading right back for Palace of Darkness first. Interesting. Is this Hitaka hoping for a mirror off of Helma? Speaking of entrance, tomorrow is our last day of casual boots. Starting on Monday, we will be entering week 4 of the league, which is co-op retrance. If you are unfamiliar with the mode, it is a co-op mode full info share, and it is Retrance, which is a retro entrance. It's a cross between retro and then a full like cross keys experience. So gonna be a lot of fun for the next couple of weeks. And yes, I did not misspeak. It will be a 2-week mode. The next couple of weeks of League coincide with SGL or Speed Gaming Live. The event is taking place. So the runners will be given 2 weeks, as there is a lot of the community that will be at SGL. So the whole league, or both Open and Invitational League, are being given 2 weeks to complete their races for week 4. But yeah, out of all the modes this season, co-op Retrance might be my favorite. So like, if you want to see something different this season, you know, we're gonna get Swordless later this season, but really co-op Retrance was like a playoff mode last season that has now become part of the regular season. I cannot tell you how much that is a fun mode. But Wired Wiki gets another crystal. That's crystal number 5. And Hitaka not far behind into the Helma fight as well. And Wired Wiki's just heading right to Desert. Hitaka's still got Eastern and Desert left. So Wired Wiki's going to have a little bit of a crystal lead. But honestly, at this point, here's what I think Wired Wiki does. It's beat Land Molus, climb Death Mountain, and go into TR, hoping for Ice Rod home away from home. And unfortunately, that is just not the case in the seed, and it is like, it looks like this race is really close. Unfortunately, that Ice Rod position is going to do no favors to Wired Wiki. Hitaka's going to take a little bit of extra time with Eastern, has not visited yet, so this will be a full clear of the dungeon. Or at least full clear up to getting the big key. So luckily, big key was not vanilla today for Eastern. Oh, first chest. Okay. So at least a decent Eastern Palace layout. Wired Wiki about to enter the Land Molus fight. Hitaka just working through Eastern now. Looks like Hitaka's just seeing if maybe they can get a little bit of an advantage for the late part of this seed. Not realizing just how far ahead they are right now. Okay, Wired Wiki takes down Landmo, and what's the decision? I think this is going to be TR. Sank? Huh? I'm confused, folks. I don't know what Wired Wiki's play is going to be here. This is a bit of a shocker. Into Dark World as well. Are we getting Smith Chain? I am quite surprised. This makes this quite a bit of a different story, you know. I'm sorry for even writing Outwired Wiki here, but this could make it a race again, folks. And yeah, not saving and quitting. So this is possibly, yeah, this is going to be Jeremiah. Hataka's still going to have the advantage of the TR clear to be at 7 crystals after Desert, but honestly, Wired Wiki's going to be on Death Mountain again first. I am genuinely surprised by the play, and it is, you know, this is all about people's attitudes about things. You know, Dave's mentioning it in chat. Like, this is clearly Wired Wiki saying, I don't want to be in TR without Ice Rod if I don't have to be, and it's the right call. And yeah, this is still going to be Hataka with a few minute advantage. Like, don't get me wrong, but this is a lot closer than it was looking. And still within reason for things to go any direction. And there's the Ice Rod and Go mode for Wired Wiki. So, you know, almost a 20-minute difference or more between our Go modes tonight. But really, the race is closer than you might believe with that kind of statement. Of course, the Dead Rocks are saying, you know, you might want this race to be good, but we want to troll you. And they will not give up. And yes, Shaktool's digging game still has an advantage and lead right now, just based on the clear. We'll see how far Wired Wiki is into TR when Hataka hits GT. Unfortunately, like, for as, you know, much as you'd hope this continues to get closer, Wired Wiki is just being constantly mobbed by the Dead Rocks and just said, no, you cannot go to TR. Yeah, that's just a rude game. Okay, there is crystal number 7 for Hataka. Now, if you have been paying attention, that is 7 crystals for Hataka, and that means, hey, you're going to GT, and you gotta find the GT big key. There are 22 locations in the basement. If you want to put a number in chat and take a guess at it, go for it. You know, we don't have the bot or prediction for it tonight, I believe, but do feel free to take a guess. I'm on the side of kindness tonight. You don't have a mirror, so, you know, either let them find the mirror quickly or just give them the big key and hope room, please. That's fair. Okay, and we will try to give a little bit of a time estimate on this hit of the GT entry, just to kind of see what kind of difference we're at. So if you haven't gotten your guess in, you still got a few more seconds before Hitaka heads in. We've also got the cutscene to open it up, so a little more time there. Okay, cutscene at about 1938 with Hitaka entering GT at 1:19:57. And yeah, we'll call that 1:20 just for simplicity's sake. Okay, so Hitaka's going with a DM start at least, heading over to DM room. Is that our big key? Yeah, it's late for me and it's early for Days. Don't make us do math. And there's our big key, number 5. And let's see. Congratulations to Bullet Catcher for correctly guessing our big key tonight. What's your prize? Getting me to say your name on stream. Congrats. But here we go. GT climb for Hitaka. I don't believe Hitaka really has much in the safety department. Oh, ran out of arrows. Luckily able to get that pot. Poof. Meanwhile, Wildwiki just about to enter Trinex's last room before that final crystal fight. And Hitaka does not go for the safety room, so just gonna play it out. Nicely done with Gauntlet 5 there. Trying to save magic, it looks. Yep, very nice 6 fire rod shot, 0 or 1 cycle land mow. And with that, Wired Wiki heading over to GT. As we said, Hitaka entered at about 1:20. It looks like there's going to be about a 3.5 minute advantage for Hitaka at this point. Hitaka gonna have just enough magic here. Gonna need to get this pot here at the top. And it looks like WireWiki is gonna make the same call. Are we gonna get any extra checks here? It looks like we are getting the top of GT. There's Powder. Oh, wow. Very nice little safety. That's our mirror. Oh, folks, the game's got jokes. Not the thing you like seeing. Like, that's just one of those, game. Oh, gosh. Folks, I didn't think it could do that bad, but there you go. Flute and mirror, top of GT, last 2 checks of the game. Hitaka finding both of them. Thank you, Hitaka, for showing us that. Imagine if this was an all dungeon seed. We had a 3 and a 1 so far. Just 2 more hits to go on Aga 2. Another one. There's our 5th. So just 1 more, and we're done with Aga 2. There we go. 3, 1, 1, 1 for Hitaka on Aga 2. No, Maniacal. Did you find the silvers in Dark World because they're actually in Mimic Cave, or on Death Mountain because they're in Mimic Cave? Come on, clearly. Hitaka dropping in on the Ganon fight now, getting our facts about insects. Nice double spin to start. Gets the 1 cycle for phase. Oh, just missed the 1 cycle, unfortunately. Into phase 2, though. And there we are, 2-2 for the this phase 1, phase 2 into phase 3. So yeah, where were our silvers tonight? I saw some predictions of GT and Swamp. We'll see which one is true. It is. They were in GT. Of course they were. Taka just has to get 11 more spins in on Ganon to end this fight. Gonna have to be a little bit careful as well. Down to 3 hearts. Gonna go strictly lamp strats here. Nice, and keep a good rhythm to the fight. And just go for nice consistent doubles. I think there's still a couple of spins left. Gonna bring out the fire rod now. And there we go. That is the 12th spin on phase 4 for Hitaka. Just has to cross the bridge. And we'll take this game for Shaktool's digging game. Get your GGs in chat as Hitaka takes the game tonight with a 128.44 GG. Wired Wiki is just past Moldorm 2 as well, and continuing on to the Aga 2 fight. And yes, that is the first win on the season for Shaktool's digging game, so definitely a good feeling to get on the board. Invitational League is brutal, folks. Week in, week out. So, nice to always get those wins. And it does look like Hitaka is going to be joining us for an interview. And we are now joined by Hitaka. GG.
Hi, thanks.
So, thoughts about that seed?
Well, first of all, and I tuned in after I finished, so I saw that you all enjoyed this too. The flute and mirror on top of GT, I laughed really hard when I got those.
Great combo.
I mean, after I hit Go Mode, I was doing a couple free checks, because flute would have made Desert faster, and mirror would have made Eastern faster after Pod. So,
Yep.
hoping to find one of those, but that was never happening.
Yeah, that Go Mode kind of just jumps up at you out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the bow, and then, like, I went to get Super Bunny K, but while I was going there, I thought, wait, is that Go Mode? And then I took stock in my head, what dungeons I had left, and I thought, yep, that's Go Mode.
I had the same reaction. Chat called me out on it. It was like, that was Go. I was like, oh yeah, it's Go.
And other than being an Agassi, this was a pretty free seed. I think the only thing that really could have tripped someone up is not doing Smith, and then it turning into an Ice Rod hunt, but it looks like that didn't happen for either of us.
Yeah, that your play at the moment you did it made a lot of sense. You know, doing you know, finishing up Thieves Town and then grabbing Jeremiah before coming back to the area to do Skull really worked out nicely. Wired Wiki decided to do Smith Chain before going into TR. It was kind of in the I don't want to gamble Ice Rod and TR tonight.
Yeah.
So.
And it's always tempting to just not do Smith without Mirror because it's kind of a pain in the butt.
Yep. But Wired Wiki on to Phase 4 Ganon here, going strictly Fire Rod strats. And yeah, looking at the CR, 138, like it. Given how slow the seed started, you really wouldn't have thought that would have been the CRs we were looking at tonight.
Yeah. And, yeah, like Maniacal said in chat, there's not really... With Flute and GT, Flute and Mirror just not available, that's two pendant dungeons that were inaccessible completely, so there really wasn't that much... Like, I didn't do... there weren't that many checks that I didn't do that were available to me.
Yeah.
Just, like, other than go moding dungeons and, like, Purple Chest and Spike Cave and a couple other
but
things all over the place.
Wired Wiki does finish as well, in second with a 131.55. Get your GGs in chat for Wired Wiki.
Catfish.
Yeah, about a 3-minute difference between our two runners tonight. So about that difference we were talking about in entering GT. Yeah, you decided not to do Eastern, so you got into Dark World just that much bit a little sooner, as we are now also joined by Wired Wiki. GG.
Yeah, GG Suetaka, for sure.
GG.
Yeah, we were just talking about the hilarity of the end of the seed. How about that Flute and Mirror?
I was like the only thing that can justify this is if the second bow is in Meyer now.
And unfortunately, it was very like lackluster in GT.
Yeah. Oh well. I would say the beginning of this was super linear, and it just opened up at the I would say the Titansmiths and Skullwoods, but even then there was not a lot of options from there.
Yeah, definitely a trickle feed. You know, your play into Ice Palace made a lot of sense. Unfortunately, it was just nothing there.
Yeah, it happens, I guess. Like, I actually, after doing Thieves Town, I have been thinking about doing Blacksmiths, but then I found the Fire Ops like, nah, let's do Skullwoods first, and then the Glove actually led me to Ice Palace. I prioritized dungeons, and that kind of killed me in the end, basically.
Well, and the thing is that, you know, your play to even check Smith before going to TR made this a lot closer than it was looking at that moment, because Hitaka hit go mode at sub-hour, probably about 50-something minutes. And,
I think it was about 56-ish.
Yeah, and, you know, 20 minutes later, you check that before going to TR, and we're like, oh, this could still be a bit of a race, depending on how everything else goes.
Yeah, to me it actually made a lot of sense to do that before going to TR. I know a lot of runners actually, if it is an ice rod hunt, I just heard from Hitaka on the stream that it wasn't for him. But if it turns into an ice rod hunt, a lot of runners tend to go to TR before actually checking everything else. So I figured it might be better to do that. And then the worst check I had without the mirror was definitely the blacksmith sequence, so I went there first.
Okay. I mean, worked out definitely tonight.
Yeah, plus with mirror missing, you couldn't save the portal anyway, so
Yeah.
that's kind of more incentive to not going into TOA.
Yeah, I mean, pretty close seed overall. I will say, I guess one question I have for you, Hitaka, is, skipping Eastern early, was there any thought of an item being there to kind of give any sort of progression?
When I found Moon Pearl, I thought, well, Eastern would have to have 2 items to make me not have to do Ag. It would have to have a hammer and glove or both gloves. And that seemed really unlikely, so I figured I'm just not going to bother yet. I'll do Aga and get what I can out of Dark World, and then we'll see where we are.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only item we did get out of Eastern was a bottle, and Sick Kid was not an answer today.
Nope, he just had a nickel.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about that classic hammer and pod?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, a 5-key front of pod, too.
Oh, was it? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the only other item was the map, if I recall correctly.
Shovel.
Not entirely.
Shovel's bridge chest.
All right, it was the shovel. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I noticed when, I think, Hitaka, when you were in the back, you got 1 key in Dark U, and then you checked out Harmless Hellway, and it wasn't a key.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 5-key front of pod tonight. So, interesting kind of
'Cause
layout of everything.
I was thinking later after I was like on my way to Helma, and there were 2 keys on right side, I was thinking, wait. I don't know if I miscounted or forgot what was where, but I thought, like, wait, does that mean that the hammer wasn't actually in Logic then? And is there like a bow in Eastern or something? But it didn't. That wasn't really here nor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was 5 keys. That makes sense.
Yeah, unfortunately, not getting that bottle out of Eastern did not give you camera unlock potential.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I assumed that the big key chest wasn't a small key after I found the 2 keys on the right side.
So this, of course, does conclude. I think this is your second race for Kaz Boots Week, correct?
Yes. Yeah, the first one was a few hours ago.
Oh, really recent. Which, of course, brings you to the double week for co-op veterans. Is everybody looking forward to that, or
no?
No.
I'm not. I'm potentially not even playing, so no.
Oh, fair enough.
I am playing and still no.
Understandable. It's a very different mode. But I do want to thank you both again. It was a great race to watch and commentate tonight. Any other comments or stuff you guys want to say before we begin to close up?
I'd just like to say that it looks like I'm carrying my team this year.
I can't provide a counter argument with that one, so fun. Anything else from you, Wired Wiki?
Nothing much. Just GG's again to Hitaka, and of course, thanks to everyone who worked to get the restream together. So thanks, Jesse, for commentating. Thanks to Days Club for tracking, and thanks for SpeedGaming for having the restream.
Yeah. Shout out to Jaxie. Jaxie set up the race that was happening over on SpeedGaming too, and then jumped in to help set up some things here as well. So huge shout outs to Jaxie. Dazed, thank you for doing the tracking. is also saying thank you to the SG tracking software for being very cooperative tonight, which is a real plus. In terms of races going on, I don't know if the race over on SG2 is over yet. Probably will be. It is as well, unfortunately. But given how great these Kaz Boots races are, maybe considering watching it back. Looks like it was another close one. In terms of races, though, for the rest of tonight, Invitational League is done races for this evening, but there are 4 races on the schedule tomorrow for Sunday to close out Casual Boots Week. Hopefully they all get restreams, but that is of course dependent upon availability and crew for that. But those 4 games are Validation Chess Boots versus the Eastern Skippers, Tiverius versus Dr. Marty Zero, and that's at 12:10 Eastern. 2:10 Eastern, Divine Beastie Boys versus Oops All Foxes, Gamachu versus Adalor. At 7:10 p.m., Go versus Begone Pot. That is Shkupel versus Don Vinner. And finally, 8:10 p.m. to close out the Casual Boots Week in Invitational, to Infinity and Pagog versus 2 Pearl, 2 Furious. That's Relkin versus Oase, 28. So hopefully we get to see those all restreamed. And we do have a full slate of games also in the Open League. There's still a couple of those. There's one more race tonight in Open League. No restream on it. Farm Friends versus Tipsy Tavern Toasters. Windfox 470 versus Great Corvid. And a whole, looks to be about another half dozen or so races on. Or, sorry, no. Only a few more races for Sunday as well for Open League. So we are quickly approaching the end of our Casual Boots Week. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again for watching. Make sure to check out the rest of SpeedGaming stuff. This week is going to, or starting Monday, is going to be co-op retrants. In terms of games being played during the week, there might not be a whole large slew of restreamed games. This week is also going to be the start of SpeedGaming Live. That event is, of course, starting this week. And so that is why there is a double week for the league. So do not expect as many league races as many members of the Link to the Past randomizer community will be at SGL. So do be sure to watch those streams across all of the SpeedGaming channels. With that, though, I've been Radical Sniper 99. I do appreciate all of you hanging out tonight, and I hope to see you next time. Later.